You said you forgave them, but your body still remembers everything you said you let go of. You meant it when you said it. The words felt true in your mouth, but somewhere underneath, something never got the message. Your pulse still jumps when their name comes up in conversation. Your jaw still tightens near a place that reminds you of them. That's not you lying to yourself. That's two different systems running on two different clocks. Your mind can decide to forgive in a single sentence. Your body negotiates on its own schedule, and it rarely checks in first. Psychologist Robert Enright, who has spent decades researching forgiveness at the University of Wisconsin, found something uncomfortable. The decision to forgive and the actual feeling of release are not the same event. You can finish one and still be years from the other. That gap isn't weakness. It's not you failing to move on properly. It's just what the process actually looks like once you stop performing it for other people. Here's where it gets stranger. Your brain doesn't store an old wound the way it stores an old fact. A fact sits quietly. A wound stays wired into your nervous system, ready to fire the moment something even loosely resembles the original threat. Trauma researcher Bessel van der Kolk has spent his career showing that the body holds onto emotional injury independently of what the conscious mind decides about it. You can rewrite the story completely. Your nervous system might not read the memo. That's why a smell, tone of voice, a specific street corner can undo months of "I'm over it" in about 4 seconds. Think about the last time that happened to you, something small, something that shouldn't have mattered, and suddenly you were right back there. That's not regression, that's your body flagging unfinished business your mind already closed the file on. But here's what nobody tells you, and it's the part that actually reframes everything. Forgiving fast isn't always healing. Sometimes it's avoidance wearing healing's clothes. Forgiveness researcher Everett Worthington draws a hard line between genuine forgiveness and what he calls decisional forgiveness, the version where you announce the decision and skip the part where you actually process the injury. It looks identical from the outside. Same words, same calm voice, completely different internal state. You say "I'm fine" to end the conversation faster than to end the pain, and the people around you believe it because you sound convincing. You've had practice. The cost shows up later and quietly, not as a relapse into anger, as a low hum of tension you can't quite locate, a wariness around someone you swore you'd made peace with. You're not failing at forgiveness. You skipped a step and called it finished. Watch how this plays out today, right now, in your own life. You tell someone you're not upset anymore. You mean it in the moment. Then a message notification from them makes your stomach drop before your brain even reads the text. That drop is data. It's not sabotage. It's your nervous system reporting the truth your mouth hasn't caught up to yet. Most people respond to that gap by getting angry at themselves for still feeling something, which just adds a second wound on top of the first one. Now you're carrying the original hurt plus the shame of apparently not handling it well enough. You were never supposed to handle it in one sitting. Nobody does. Enright's own research subjects took months, sometimes years, working through structured forgiveness processes, and they were the ones actively trying. So the real question isn't why you still feel something. It's why you expected the feeling to disappear on your own timeline instead of the body's. Give the gap somewhere to go. Say the true sentence instead of the finished sounding one. Not "I'm over it, but I've decided to let it go. Part of me is still catching up." That sentence does less performing and more actual work. You didn't lie when you said you forgave them. You just described the finish line before you'd crossed it. Your body is still walking there. Let it. If you enjoyed this, consider subscribing for more videos.